Okay, so we went over inverse functions a little bit yesterday. You guys watched a video on it off Khan Academy. The main thing that I want you guys to realize is that an inverse function, you are literally just switching the x, let me get the pen here, the x and the y variable, okay? You're switching the x and the y variable. So what I mentioned in the video is that your domain becomes the range and the range becomes the domain. So when you are asked to find the inverse of a function, so say I'm given a function f of x equals 4 minus 3 over 2x. Okay, so I'm given this function f of x equals 4 minus 3 over 2x. And you're trying to find the inverse. Here's what you do. The process is right up here. One, you're just going to go ahead and replace f of x with y. They're the same thing. We've talked about this before, but f of x and y both just represent outputs. So I'm going to turn this into y equals 4 minus 3 over 2x. Okay, so now that we're at this stage, we need to switch the x and y variable. So I'm going to replace the y here with x, and then I'm going to rewrite my equation so that I have y in x's place. So I've just switched them. Just switched them here. Now I need to resolve this equation for y. So this is just a little two-step equation for us. We need to isolate the y variable. So I see that I have a 4 here. Okay, we're using reverse PEMDAS, right? So I'm going to do my addition subtraction first. So I'm going to subtract this 4 out, and then I can subtract the 4 from this side as well. You do it to one side, you have to do the other. So now I have x minus 4 equals negative 3 over 2y. Our last move here is we got to get this y alone. So when we have a fraction here, normally we would just divide by that. And so dividing by a fraction is also the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal of this, which is just negative 2 over 3. Remember, the reciprocal is just you take the numerator and denominator and switch places. So negative 3 halves becomes negative 2 halves. Don't change the sign. Do not change the sign. The reciprocal, you just flip the top and the bottom. So I have to multiply by this side over here as well. Negative 2 over 3. So my final answer here is going to be negative 2 over 3x. So I have to distribute this here. Distribute. So it's going to be negative 2 over 3x minus, and we can just multiply it. This is the same as 4 over 1. So this would be minus 8, negative 2 times 4. Actually, sorry, that's going to be plus 8 over 3. Plus 8 thirds, and that's equal to y. So once you get it like this, now the last move is you're going to take this y variable and you're going to go ahead and replace it back with your original function notation, so f of x, but you're going to write f to the negative 1. So you're going to write f, and I'm going to change colors here. Let's put it in blue. So you're going to write f, what I thought was blue, f of negative 1 x, so the negative 1 implies inverse, equals negative 2 thirds x plus 8 thirds. Okay, and this is your answer here. Alright, so let's look at another problem real quick. Let's look at another problem. So I'm going to go ahead and just erase this. There we go. And we're going to come back over here. So problem 2 here. So I have a new problem here. It's going to be g of x equals negative 16 plus x over 4. So same process here. We're going to make g of x just y. So y equals, instead of rewriting it, oh, I thought you'd do that. Negative 16 plus x over 4. And now I just have to switch the x and the y, right? I'm going to switch the x and y variables. Now I get x equals negative 16 plus y equals, or over 4. And now I have to solve for y. Well, I see that this top part is being divided by 4. Okay, so I can multiply by 4 in order to get rid of that division by 4, right? Just like that. I'll multiply this side by 4 as well. So I'm basically just multiplying by the reciprocal here, right? This is being divided by 4, or multiplied by 1 over 4. So I'm multiplying now by its reciprocal of 1 over 4, which is just 4. So now I have 4x equals negative 16 plus y. Well, now that's pretty simple, right? I have a negative 16 here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 16. I'm going to add 16 here. So I have 4x plus 16 equals y. And my last step, I'm going to rewrite this. So instead of y, I'm going to do g of negative 1 of x. So my inverse is 4x plus 16. 4x plus 16. So there is my answer right there. Okay, so those are two problems. So all you have to do, remember, replace f of x with y, switch the variables, solve for y, and then once you solve it, just rewrite it as something f, g, whatever they used, negative 1x equals your answer. Okay, good luck.